You might take a moment now to notice where you are. Perhaps you are sitting or lying down or walking slowly. Whatever your position, allow yourself to arrive here. There is no need to change anything. Just notice. You are breathing, you are alive, and this moment is already here. You do not have to run after it. You do not have to earn it. It has come to you as a gift. As you listen, you might like to soften your gaze or close your eyes if it feels safe. Let the body settle by itself like a leaf that gently comes to rest on the surface of a still pond. There is nothing to force. There is nowhere else you need to be in this moment. The sound of these words, the feeling of your body, the movement of your breath, this is enough. Many of us think that peace is somewhere far away, perhaps a place we reach in the future or after many years of struggle. We imagine that the kingdom of God, or a place of deep peace and freedom, is behind a locked door that only a few special people can open. But this is not so. The door is not in the sky. It is not in another life. It is right here in your own breath, in your own steps, in your own awareness. Peace is not an idea. It is an experience. It is the simple feeling of being fully here, with nothing added and nothing taken away. Right now, even in the middle of whatever stress or pain you may carry, there is also something still, something whole that you can touch. Like the blue sky that is always present above the clouds, your true home is always here, even when the storms of life pass through. You do not need to push anything away to touch this home. You do not need to pretend that your worries or sadness are not there. You only need to be willing to come back to yourself gently with kindness. When you are fully here in this breath, in this body, you are already touching something sacred. You are touching the kingdom of God in the here and the now. We can begin this journey with 4 very simple steps. They are not complicated. They do not require special tools or perfect conditions. They grow from your own everyday life. The first step is to stop and breathe. The second step is to come home to the body. The third is to open the heart with compassion. And the fourth is to see that you are not separate from life, to live in awareness of your deep connection with everything. These 4 steps are like 4 small doors that all open into the same peaceful garden. You do not have to rush. You do not have to open them all at once. Today, it is enough to stand gently before the first door and place your hand on the handle. It is enough to feel the presence of this garden already calling you home. If you like, you can now allow your attention to come to your breath. You do not need to change the breath. Do not make it longer or shorter. Just let it be as it is, like a river that has always been flowing through you. You can silently say to yourself, breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. As you breathe in, feel the cool air entering the body. In these moments, forgiveness becomes possible. Forgiveness is not something you do for the other person. It is something you do for your own heart. Holding anger is like holding a hot coal in your hand. Forgiveness is the moment when you decide to gently put the coal down. Not because the coal was never hot, not because the pain was never real, but because you no longer want to burn yourself. You may begin with a simple wish. May I be free from this anger. May my heart be light again. That is enough. Forgiveness does not have to happen all at once. It can grow slowly, like a small plant that emerges through the soil after a long winter. There is also a practice called beginning anew. It is a way to refresh a relationship, to acknowledge the mistakes on both sides, and to water the seeds of goodness. You can begin anew even when speaking directly to the person is not possible. In your own heart, you can recognize something good they have done, no matter how small. You can acknowledge your own unskillful moments. You can express your hurt without blame. simply naming what is true, and you can set an intention to continue with more understanding and compassion. Even if the relationship cannot fully heal on the outside, beginning anew on the inside allows you to walk with more peace. The burden becomes lighter, the breath becomes easier. You are no longer carrying the weight of old stories. You are choosing to live fresh in each moment with a heart that is gently opening. When you practice this way, you become a source of peace for others. Your presence becomes like a calm, cool shade on a hot day. You do not need to say many wise words or offer perfect solutions. Simply by being here, fully and deeply, you bring peace into the spaces you enter. This is the quiet power of compassion. As your heart opens, you may begin to see something even more beautiful, that you are not separate from the people you love, or even from the people who have hurt you. You are not separate from the trees, the sky, the river, the animals, or the future generations who will walk on this earth. Everything is connected. Everything is woven together in a vast, living tapestry. This understanding is called interbeing. It means that nothing exists alone. A flower cannot bloom without the rain, the sunlight, the soil, the gardener, the clouds that carried the water, the stars that created the elements long ago. When you look deeply into a flower, you see the whole universe. In the same way, when you look deeply into yourself, you see that you contain your ancestors, your teachers, your friends, your joys, your struggles, and the earth itself. You may like to look at your hand. There are lines on your palm. There are moments in these lines. The moment your mother held your hand, the moment you learned to write, the moment you reached out to someone in need. In this hand, you can see generations of hands, your parents, your grandparents, your ancestors stretching back through time. Their hopes, fears, joys, and courage are all here in your hand. You are not just an individual. You are a continuation of many lives. When you breathe in the air that has touched the trees, the mountains, the oceans. When you walk on the earth that holds everyone. When you speak, your words become part of someone's memory. When you smile, your smile can become the seed of another person's joy. Nothing you do is small when you understand interbeing. This deep connection is not something you have to force. It is already here, like a quiet river flowing beneath the surface. When you are mindful of your breath, your body, and your heart, you naturally begin to see this connection. You may feel more tenderness toward the world around you. You may feel more responsibility, but in a gentle way, not as a burden, but as a loving awareness of how your actions ripple outward. Because you see your connection with all beings, your choices become more mindful. You may choose to speak kindly, to listen deeply, to consume less, to take care of the earth, to forgive more easily, to love more freely. These choices are not rules or obligations. They grow naturally from the understanding that you are part of a larger whole. This way of living is what some call engaged mindfulness. It means bringing your awareness into your everyday actions, not just for your own peace, but for the peace of your family, your community, and the earth. When you cook, you can cook with love. When you can clean with a peaceful heart. When you touch a doorknob, you can touch it mindfully. When you can drive with awareness, knowing that many lives are around you. Each small action becomes a chance to bring peace into the world. You do not need to do anything extraordinary. You do not need to change the world through grand gestures. The world changes when you breathe mindfully, when you speak gently, when you walk peacefully. These small acts are like drops of water. When many drops fall together, they can fill a whole river. When one peaceful person lives mindfully, the people around them begin to feel more calm. When many peaceful people live mindfully, the world becomes a more compassionate place. Every moment of awareness is a moment of offering. Every breath rooted in compassion is a gift. Every step taken with presence is a blessing. You are capable of offering these gifts simply by being here, by living with understanding and love. As we come to the end of this reflection, you might allow yourself to take one long, deep breath. Feel the air enter your body. Feel it leave slowly. Notice how the breath has been with you all along, supporting you, guiding you back to yourself. Perhaps you can sense that the peace you touched was not created by these words. It was already inside of you. It is always inside of you. You only need to return to it again and again as you would return to a dear friend. Peace is not far away. It is not hidden. It is here in this inhalation. It is here in this exhalation. It is in the feeling of your feet touching the ground. It is in the gentle beating of your heart. When you breathe mindfully, you touch the kingdom of God. When you walk with awareness, you walk in the kingdom of God. When you speak with loving kindness, you bring the kingdom into the lives of others. You may continue this practice in your own time, in your own way. Each step you take, each breath you give attention to, is a return to your true home, and your true home is spacious, peaceful, and full of love. Now as you breathe once more, you can smile gently. You are here, you are alive, you are connected to all things, and with every mindful breath, you continue to touch the peace that has always been waiting for you. This is the gift of the present moment. This is the quiet, boundless kingdom that you carry within. As you breathe out, feel the warm air leaving. Notice the gentle rise of the chest or the belly with the in-breath and the soft fall with the out-breath. If your mind wanders, that is okay. Minds know how to wander. When you notice this, you simply return to the next breath. The breath is always here, like a faithful friend. In this simple act of noticing the breath, you're already stepping into the garden of peace. You may still hear thoughts, you may still feel tension, but you have made a new choice. Instead of following every thought, you are choosing to rest with the breath. This is the beginning of true freedom. This is the beginning of touching the kingdom of God in this very moment. You might ask yourself quietly, how does it feel to be here with this breath? What changes when I pay attention to the simple act of breathing? You do not need to look for a special answer. Just allow the question to open a gentle space within you. Let the breath answer in its own way. Now we can walk more deeply into this first simple step, to stop and breathe. In our daily life, we often feel as if we are being pushed from behind. There is always something to do, something to fix, something to worry about. Even when the body is resting, the mind may still be running. We wake up and the race begins. It can feel as if our whole day is one long breath held tightly in the chest. To stop does not mean to escape from life or to reject our responsibilities. Stopping is an act of love. It is the moment when we say to ourselves, my dear, you have tried so hard. You deserve to rest now, just for a breath, just for a moment. It is like telling a child who has been running and playing all day, come here, sit in my lap and rest. When we stop, we let our heart sit in our own lap. You can practice stopping right now. Let your body become a little heavier, as if the muscles are allowed to melt just a bit more. You may notice places of tightness in the shoulders, the face, the belly. You do not have to push them away. Just let your awareness touch them with kindness. Then bring the breath gently to these places. Breathing in, you know the tension is there. Breathing out, you sense softness and warmth. You might like to use a very simple phrase in your mind. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. The smile does not have to be visible on your lips. It can be a smile in your heart. It is a gesture of friendliness toward yourself. It says, I am here for you. I will not abandon you to your worries and fears. If thoughts come, let them come. Let them pass as clouds move across the sky. You do not need to push them away. You do not need to chase them. Behind each cloud, the sky is still there. Behind each thought, your breathing is still there. When you notice that you are lost in thinking, do not scold yourself. Just say quietly, I have been away, but now I am back. And then you return to the next in-breath. Stopping and breathing can be just a few seconds, or it can be longer. Even one mindful breath can make a difference. It is like opening a window in a stuffy room. Fresh air comes in and the space becomes lighter. You may still have the same problems, but the way you hold them changes. There is now a little more space, a little more clarity. Notice how your body feels when you give yourself this gift of stopping. You may sense a bit more softness in the shoulders, a little more ease around the eyes. You may feel the seat supporting you, the ground holding you. You are not falling. You are being held by the earth in this moment as you breathe. Perhaps you can sense that in this stopping you are doing something very deep. You are no longer being carried away by the waves of habit. You are standing on solid ground, even if just for a moment. This solid ground is the simple awareness of the present moment. It is this awareness that allows the kingdom of God to show itself quietly like the first light of dawn. Stopping is not a one-time event. It is something we can return to again and again, like taking sips of cool water throughout the day. Each time you stop and breathe, you water the seeds of peace and presence in your mind. These seeds grow stronger without any force, just as a tree grows by simply being rooted in the soil and touched by sun and rain. Now let us look more closely at how this simple stopping and breathing can follow you into the many moments of your daily life. Mindful breathing does not belong only to quiet times or special meditation sessions. It can walk side by side with you in every small action. You might notice, for example, the feeling of your feet on the floor when you stand up from your chair. This is a moment to stop for one breath. Before you rush to the next task, you can pause, feel the contact of your feet with the ground, and breathe in and out, knowing that you are standing. You might say quietly in your mind, breathing in, I know I am standing. Breathing out, I feel the ground supporting me. When you are walking from one room to another, you can allow just one slow step to be fully aware. You may not be able to walk slowly all the time, but you can take 1 or 2 mindful steps. With each step, you can say, arriving, as you step with the left foot, and home, as you step with the right foot. Arriving, home. You are not walking towards some distant peace. You are walking in peace. Think of your breath as a gentle friend that goes with you to work, to the kitchen, to the market, to the bathroom, everywhere. When you wash your hands, you can feel the touch of the water on your skin. You can feel the temperature of the water, the movement of your fingers. Instead of letting the mind wander far away, you can say, breathing in, I feel the water. Breathing out, I smile at the simple gift of this moment. In the same way, when you drink a cup of tea or water, you can pause before the first sip and take a breath. Look at the cup, notice its shape, its color, feel the warmth or coolness. Then, as you raise the cup, breathe in and out calmly. When you sip, be with the taste fully. This is not just drinking, this is touching a peaceful moment that is alive with presence. Everyday sounds can become bells of mindfulness that invite you to stop and breathe. The sound of a phone, the ding of a message, the distant noise of traffic, the song of a bird. Each of these sounds can remind you to come back to yourself. When you hear a sound, instead of reacting immediately, you can let it be a small bell. You might pause for one breath. Breathing in, I hear the sound. Breathing out, I return to myself. In this way, daily life itself becomes your teacher. The door handle, the spoon, the keyboard, the steering wheel, the pillow. Each object you touch can call you back to the present moment if you let it. You do not need to make a big effort. You simply choose, again and again, to meet these familiar things with awareness, as if seeing them for the first time. You can also bring mindful breathing into moments of stress or discomfort. When someone speaks to you in a harsh way, or when you receive difficult news, your first habit might be to react quickly, to defend, to attack, or to collapse. But now you are learning another way. You can take one conscious breath before you answer. In that single breath, you create a small space of freedom. You might say to yourself, breathing in, I feel the storm in me. Breathing out, I stay with my breath. You do not deny the storm. You do not push it down. You simply refuse to let it carry you away. This one breath can protect you and the other person from words that may harm. It is a very simple, very deep practice. Over time, as you continue to use these small pauses, you may notice that your day begins to feel different. The same tasks are there, the same people are there, but you are more present. You notice the color of the sky, the taste of your food, the sound of your own footsteps. You begin to discover that your life is not only a list of things to do, it is also a series of miracles to touch. You might ask yourself gently, at this moment, what is it like to be me? Not as a judgment, but as a curious, kind question. What does my body feel like? How is my breath? What emotions are here? In asking this, you bring light into the room of your own experience. You become a friend to yourself, not a stranger. In this way, the first simple step, stopping and breathing, quietly transforms the landscape of your life. You do not have to change who you are. You do not have to become someone new. You are simply learning to be here with what is already present, with an open heart and a steady breath. Each time you pause, each time you return to the breath in the middle of an ordinary act, you are touching a peaceful, sacred space that has always been waiting for you. As you continue to rest with your breath, you may begin to notice more clearly that this breath is happening in a body. Sometimes in our daily life, it is as if the body and the mind live in different places. The body is here, sitting or walking, but the mind is far away, thinking of yesterday, worrying about tomorrow. When this happens, we cannot truly touch the peace that is available here and now. Very gently, you can invite your mind to come home to your body. There is no need to force it. You can simply say in a quiet way inside, my mind has been traveling and now I invite it to come home. Your home is not an idea. Your home is this living, breathing body in this present moment. Allow your attention to settle somewhere simple, like the contact between your body and the chair or the ground. Feel the weight of your body. Feel how the earth holds you up without asking for anything in return. You may not have noticed this support for a long time. Now, with your awareness, you can say thank you in silence just by noticing. You can also bring your attention to the sensations in your shoulders, your neck, your face. Perhaps there is tightness there from long hours of effort and worry. There is no need to judge this. You can simply acknowledge, yes, tension is here. As you breathe in, you are aware of the tension. As you breathe out, you let it soften just a little, as if you are loosening a tight knot with kind hands. Your body is like a house with many rooms, and for a long time, some rooms may have been closed. Maybe you have only stayed in the room of your thoughts, the room of your planning and problem solving. Now you have the chance to open other rooms, the room of your heart, the room of your belly, the room of your feet and hands. You do this not by thinking about these parts, but by feeling them slowly, gently, with curiosity. If you wish, you can let your awareness move slowly down through the body. Begin at the top of the head, just noticing any sensations there. Perhaps you feel nothing at all. That is also something to notice. Then move to the forehead, the area around the eyes, the jaw. Is there tightness, softness, warmth, coolness? Let each in-breath be a way of seeing and each out-breath be a way of releasing. Continue down the neck and into the shoulders. Many of us carry a whole world on our shoulders, our worries, our duties, our fears. You might imagine just for a moment that you can set this heavy bag down beside you. You do not have to throw it away. You only need to rest your shoulders for a while. Let the breath enter the shoulders as you breathe in, and let the breath bring ease as you breathe out. Let your attention flow into your arms, your hands, your fingers. These hands have done so much, working, caring, holding, carrying. See if you can feel a sense of gratitude for them. They are not just tools. They are part of your living body, your true home. Perhaps you can allow your hands to soften, to rest, to release any tight grip. Then come to your chest, feeling the rise and fall with the breath. Inside this chest is your heart, beating day and night without asking you for permission. It is a faithful companion. You may like to place a hand gently on your chest just to acknowledge this miracle. Feel the warmth of your own touch. Feel how the body responds when it feels kindness from you. Let your awareness move down to your belly. Many emotions live here: fear, anxiety, excitement, joy. The belly may feel tight or heavy. Do not push this away. Breathe into it. Imagine the breath as a soft, warm light that enters the belly, saying, "I know you are there. I am here with you." Breathing out, let the belly relax even a little bit, as if it is allowed to sigh. Then bring your attention to your hips, your legs, your knees, your feet. These parts carry you through your day. They walk for you, stand for you, climb stairs for you. Feel the contact of your feet with the floor or with whatever is touching them. Sense the support coming from below. With each breath, you can release any tightness in the legs, letting them rest more deeply on the earth. As you breathe and feel the body from head to toe, you are not just doing an exercise. You are returning to yourself. You are saying to your body, "I have neglected you, but now I am here. I see you. I hear you. I care." When your mind and body are together in the present moment, you are fully alive. You are not scattered. You are not lost in yesterday or tomorrow. You are here, and the kingdom of God becomes touchable in this very aliveness. You do not have to feel perfect ease. You do not have to feel complete peace. Even if there is pain, your presence changes the quality of that pain. It is like being alone in a dark room and then having a friend come in and sit with you. The situation may not change at once, but the loneliness and fear are less. In the same way, when your awareness sits with your body, your suffering does not have to be alone anymore. When you walk, you can also bring this awareness into each step. You do not need to walk slowly all the time, but you can choose a few steps now and then to be fully present. As your foot lifts, you breathe in. As it touches the ground, you breathe out. You may silently say, "Arriving" with the in-breath and "home" with the out-breath. Arriving, home. Each step becomes a gentle touch of the kingdom of God right here on earth. In this way, the body is no longer just something that carries your mind around. It becomes a sacred place, a temple of presence. When you dwell peacefully in your body, even simple actions, walking, sitting, lying down, become doors to peace. You are no longer a stranger to yourself. You are a kind host, welcoming your own life in every breath and every step. As you come home to the body, you may begin to notice more clearly that not everything inside you is calm. There may be areas of deep pain, old wounds, unresolved sadness, or strong anger. Sometimes when we first become still, we are surprised by how much is there, a whole garden of feelings that we have not tended. It can feel like we are meeting a part of ourselves we have tried to ignore. This can be uncomfortable at first. We may want to turn away, to distract ourselves again, to go back to our familiar habits of running. But now you have learned how to stop and breathe. You have learned how to be present in your body. With these simple tools, you can begin to meet your suffering in a new way, with tenderness instead of fear. There is a saying, no mud, no lotus. The lotus is a beautiful flower that grows only because there is mud. Without the mud, there can be no lotus. In the same way, the deep understanding, compassion, and peace in you can only grow because there has been suffering. Without difficulty, you would not know how precious peace is. Without loss, you would not know how to truly love. So when a painful feeling rises, sadness, fear, anger, loneliness, you can remember, this is the mud. This is not something to be ashamed of or to throw away. This is the very material from which understanding and compassion can bloom. You do not have to get rid of the mud. You only need to learn how to hold it gently, how to care for it, so that over time it can give birth to the lotus. When you notice a strong emotion, begin as you have already practiced. First, stop, then breathe. Feel your feet on the ground, your body on the chair. You can place a hand on your chest or your belly if it helps you feel more stable. Then silently name the emotion. Hello, anger. Hello, sadness. Hello, fear. The naming is not to push it away. It is a way of recognizing as you would recognize a child coming to you with tears. Imagine that this feeling is like a small child within you, crying because it is hurt or afraid. If a real child came to you in tears, you would not say, "Go away, you are not important," or "You should not feel this." You would hold the child gently without asking it to be different right away. You might say, "I am here, I see you, I will take care of you." In the same way, you can hold your own emotion. Breathing in, you may say silently, "I know you are there, my anger." Breathing out, "I am here for you." Or breathing in, "I embrace my sadness." Breathing out, "I give it space." You are not your anger. You are not your sadness. You are the one who is able to recognize and hold these feelings. You are the sky. The emotions are the clouds. They come and go, but you remain. As you hold your emotion with gentle awareness, something begins to change. Perhaps not right away. Perhaps it takes many breaths, many times of returning, but slowly the rawness softens. It may feel as if the hard knot of pain begins to loosen a little. Insight can appear. You may begin to see where this emotion comes from, what it needs, what it is asking you to understand. We often think that to be peaceful means to never feel strong emotions, to always be calm and untouched. But true peace is not cold or distant. True peace is warm and alive. It has room for joy and sorrow, for laughter and tears. It knows that the lotus and the mud belong together. So when you can hold your pain tenderly without pushing it away or drowning in it, you are already walking in the kingdom of God. You may remember times in your life when a deep difficulty led to a new understanding. Perhaps a loss taught you how to value the people you love. Perhaps a failure taught you humility and patience. Perhaps a period of loneliness helped you discover your own inner strength. These are examples of the lotus blooming from the mud. When you are in the middle of suffering, it may be hard to see any lotus. That is normal. You do not have to force yourself to find meaning right away. The first step is only to be present, to breathe, to hold the pain with care. That is already a very noble, very beautiful practice. Over time, as you continue to stay present and kind, the meaning, the lotus, will slowly appear. By learning to stay with the mud of your own heart, you also become more gentle with the suffering of others. You know from inside how hard it can be to carry pain. You know how much it helps when someone simply stays with you, without judging, without trying to fix you quickly, because you have learned to sit with your own feelings. You can now sit with the feelings of another person. This is the beginning of deep compassion. From this understanding, a new way of speaking and listening can grow. When we open our heart in this way, we touch not only our own peace, but also the peace of our relationships. Mindful breathing, coming home to the body, and embracing our own suffering prepare the ground for a different kind of communication, one that can heal rather than hurt. When you speak, you can bring your breath and your body with you. Before you say a word, you can take one gentle breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your belly rise and fall. From this stable place, you can choose words that come from understanding, not from the heat of reaction. You may ask yourself, is what I am about to say true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? If not, you can allow silence to protect you. Loving speech does not mean that you always say pleasant things. It means that even when you have to say something difficult, you say it in a way that does not attack or blame. You speak as someone who wishes to understand and to be understood, not as someone who wishes to win. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," you might say, "When you look at your phone while I'm talking, I feel hurt and unseen. I want us to really hear each other." When you listen to another person, you can also bring your breath and body with you. Let your breathing be steady and soft. Let your shoulders relax. When the other person speaks, you do not plan your answer. You do not judge. You do not rush to give advice. You simply listen, as if you are making space in your heart for their words, their pain, their hopes. You might say silently to yourself, "I am listening with the wish to relieve suffering." Even if the other person's words are not perfect, even if they express anger or blame, you can still choose to listen with the intention to understand what is behind the words. Perhaps there is fear. Perhaps there is sadness. Perhaps there is a long history of not feeling heard. Your steady presence can be like a calm shore for their stormy waves. In moments when you feel hurt while listening, you can return to your breath. You can acknowledge, "Pain is rising in me," and hold it as you have learned to do. You do not have to interrupt or defend yourself right away. You can promise to share your own feelings later, when the time is right. For now, your practice is to offer the gift of deep listening. When we speak with love and listen with depth, something changes in the space between us and the other person. The air becomes lighter. Misunderstandings can begin to clear. The other person may feel, maybe for the first time, that they are truly seen and heard. This alone can be healing, even if no solution has yet been found. Every word spoken with kindness, every moment of true listening is like a small lamp lit in a dark room. We often wait for grand changes, but real transformation in relationships happens through these very simple, very human acts. When you speak gently to yourself and to others, when you listen with all your presence, you are bringing the kingdom of God into your conversations, into your family, into your community. You may not always succeed. There will be times when anger is too strong, when old habits take over, when harsh words escape before you can stop them. When this happens, you can again return to your breath. You can recognize your mistake without blame, and you can begin anew. You can apologize when needed, and you can keep practicing. The path of loving speech and deep listening is not about perfection. It is about returning again and again to the intention to bring peace. In this way, your breathing, your body, your suffering, and your words all become part of the same gentle practice. You are learning to live in such a way that each breath, each step, each word becomes a seed of peace. You are learning to touch the kingdom of God, not only here in this quiet moment, but also in the living flow of your daily life. As you continue to rest in this gentle awareness, you may begin to notice how your relationships also become more tender when you meet them with presence. Sometimes, the people closest to us carry wounds we cannot see. They may speak in ways that hurt, not because they want to harm us, but because they themselves are hurting. When we begin to understand this, something softens inside of us. We begin to see that no one is born to cause pain. We are all simply trying to find our way through the suffering we have inherited or experienced. You might think of someone in your life who has caused you hurt. Do not force yourself to feel anything. Simply bring them into your awareness as if they are standing a little distance away. Notice what arises. Perhaps tightness, anger, sadness, disappointment. These emotions are real and deserve to be acknowledged. You do not need to pretend they are not there, but as you breathe in, you can say quietly, "I know this hurt is here." As you breathe out, "I will take care of it." When we hold our own pain with kindness, we begin to see more clearly the pain of others. You may ask yourself, what suffering might this person be carrying that I cannot see? This question does not excuse harmful actions, but it helps you understand the roots of them. Just as a plant needs soil, water, and sunlight to grow, unskillful actions also have many conditions beneath them. When we look deeply, we may see fear, loneliness, confusion, or unmet needs. Understanding does not mean agreeing. It does not mean allowing ourselves to be mistreated. It simply means we can see the whole picture, and from that seeing, compassion is born. Compassion does not make us weak. It makes us steady and clear. When compassion arises, anger can soften, like ice melting into water. The water is still powerful, but it flows in a different way,